Hi, and welcome to the official Memphis 901 FC podcast. I'm your host, Pete Pranica, one of the TV voices of the club on ESPN Plus and Bounce TV in Memphis. Now, there's big stuff going on with the club. Their massive result against MLS side Atlanta United in the U.S. Open Cup, and the club also coming off a USL Championship victory over Rio Grande Valley. The club is now unbeaten in its last five matches across all competitions with three victories. And 901 FC has a plus five goal differential in those last five fixtures. Now, today's show will catch up with manager Stephen Glass, get his take on the consistent development of the club and what it was like to beat his former club in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Nighte Pickering got the match winner against Atlanta United, and he will also be on the program to share what it was like in the changing room after the extra time win. Well, last Wednesday night in Atlanta, Memphis 901 FC made history, earning their deepest advancement in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, which is the longest running national soccer tournament on American soil, and earning their first ever victory over an MLS side. And they did it by beating manager Stephen Glass's former club and the 2019 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup champion Atlanta United. By the way, it was the earliest exit for Atlanta United in their history in the competition. 901 FC joining Monterey Bay as the USL sides that bested MLS competition in the third round. In all, a total of 8 USL championship clubs advanced to the round of 32. Tyler Wolff got his first start for Atlanta United and found the back of the net in the third minute. But Memphis proved more than ready for the battle and kept peppering the Atlanta goal with shots including a two-attempt sequence from Bruno Lappa in the 32nd minute. Atlanta keeper Clement Diop was kept busy and forced into 8 saves on the night. Then finally, in the last minute of second half stoppage time, Philip Goodrum was brought down in the box and equalized from the spot. Then, in the 10th minute of the first extra time period, Luis Fernando sent a cross into Nighte Pickering, who finished from the top of the 6-yard box to give the visitors a much deserved 2-1 win. 901 FC will now face their biggest rival, Birmingham Legion, in the round of 32. That fixture has been set for Wednesday, May 10th in Birmingham's Protective Stadium. Nighte, tell me a little bit about what it was like after you completed the 2-1 victory in the Open Cup. What was it like in the changing room afterwards?
Oh, everyone in the changing room was ecstatic. Like it's been said on social media, it's one of the biggest wins, probably the biggest win in the club's history. The first time they beat an MLS team, and to win it like that too, the late drama of the PK, and then a winning goal in overtime. It felt amazing, and everyone in the locker room was just super happy about the win, ecstatic. Everyone was going crazy, buzzing about it.
How much did it say about your club that you go down 3 minutes in and, Bruno has a good sequence there, and it was so hard to break through. And then finally, in like the last minute of second half stoppage time, you get the penalty. And of course, Philip buries it. What was going through everybody's mind after you go down early, but then you're fighting all the way through?
Yeah, I think it tells a lot about our mentality. Obviously, when we went down in 3 minutes, like right at the start of the game, we're down, and I think from there we played a lot. We played a lot of attacking, flowing football. We had a lot of chances. Bruno had a few chances. I think we were putting the pressure on them a lot, and then we just trusted in our system. We kept putting pressure. We kept attacking, and then eventually we got a reward in the PK, and then Phil steps up. Ice in his veins, buries it, and puts us into overtime. Felt great for the team. And I think once we went into overtime, we kind of all had that feeling about us. We got in the huddle and we're like, look, this is our game to win. We've been taking the game to them. We've been really attacking them. And I thought we were the better team the whole game. And I think we got the result we deserved.
How excited were you when you saw that ball come into you in the 6-yard box and you knew you had a chance to finish?
Yeah, whenever I saw Luis running down the wing, I was just there. I knew Phil was going to make the run to the front post, so I was like, I'll wait here for the drag back, the cut back, and then Luis popped it into me, and then from there, I just had to finish it. And super excited. Felt amazing to get the goal for the team, get the go-ahead goal and the winning goal eventually. Felt amazing.
And you've had a lot of competition, junior national teams and all that. I don't know, maybe it's hard to rank. Is that the biggest goal of your career
Yeah,
at any
that's
level?
definitely the biggest goal I've scored. Definitely my favorite goal I've scored in my whole career. Especially at being a pro goal against an MLS team in overtime to win the game, it felt amazing. It was definitely my favorite goal I scored.
Now, predominantly, you have been coming in as a substitute to provide some attacking at the end of matches. What is the mindset like when all of a sudden you're like, okay, you're going in and you're being counted upon to create some
Mhm.
opportunities and to finish?
The mindset is just what the coach gave me. He put me in. He said, "Look, we want you to stay high, play attacking. We want to put extra pressure on the back line, extra numbers in the box," and that's what I was just trying to do. Every time I got the chance, go forward. Um, Obviously, not a lot left in the game when I came in, and we just needed a goal. So my main goal when I came in just attack, and it ended up to put a lot of pressure on the back line, and we ended up getting the goal like we needed.
Now, we haven't had a chance really to meet or to chat. Tell us a little bit about your soccer journey from Alabama and then the academy with FC Dallas and getting your way to Memphis. Tell us a little bit about. I'm always intrigued by origin stories. Tell us a little bit about your soccer
Yeah.
origin story.
So I was born in Birmingham, Alabama, but I didn't really I didn't ever play soccer there. I kind of moved away when I was like one. Like I was just born there. I grew up playing soccer in Mississippi, in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I played for this club, and I played there, and then I ended up moving to Clinton, Mississippi, and played for this team called Berea. And they had a connection with FC Dallas Academy, so I got like a tryout with FC Dallas when I was like 12, and then that's how I ended up moving to Dallas. And since then, I was with the FC Dallas in the academy, and it's a different game when you're in the MLS academy than playing in Mississippi. Like you always have a chance to be going into professional teams for trainings. Um, I had a chance to train with the FC Dallas MLS team, the second team a lot, and it's just a whole different game. And then from there, I got in touch with Caleb, and then eventually came to Memphis, and then just continuing my journey with Memphis right now.
When you were at the academy with FC Dallas, what are some of the things that you were able to pick up that you might not have picked up playing soccer in Mississippi, for example, about being a professional soccer player?
I think, yeah, the biggest thing at FC Dallas, I think, in like being in an MLS academy was they treat the academy players like they're pros almost. So like since I've been 13 and 12, like every single day I've had training. You have a locker room, you show up every day, change in the locker room, train. So it's almost like you're already a pro, you're just not getting paid. So I think that's the biggest thing is just living that lifestyle, and you really like feel the pressure too. You always, even in the academy level, you always have somebody fighting for a spot. You're always fighting. Like if you're the starter, you always have a guy behind you coming for your spot. So it's just a lot of that mentality. Like you're already in the pro game almost.
And with 901 FC throughout the years, it has always had a really good culture and a really good camaraderie. Do you get that sense with you and Philip and Bruno and the rest of the team that this is a team that they're very good at circling the wagons, when they go down in the third minute of a match and believe that they
Yeah.
can come back and win against an MLS side. Is that culture still really strong?
Yeah, that culture is always there. This is a great group of guys. I think as soon as I came in, we had all these guys, Phil, Aaron, all these guys were here last year too, and it's a great group of guys. Even though I was a lot younger, like they didn't use that against me. They were all very supportive. Like I hang out with them all the time. It's a great tight group of guys in the locker room. We have great banter, great talks. So I think that helps us a lot. Like we're really close to each other, and there's not like little groups. Like everyone gets along in the team.
Now, this is a team that got off to kind of a slow start. New manager in Stephen Glass, but things have started to click recently. What's been the biggest development, let's say, over the last 5 matches where you're unbeaten?
I think the biggest development is we've just tightened up a few things. I think we gave away maybe a few cheap goals in the first games, but we got our stuff together, and obviously 5 games unbeaten. We've been playing attacking football now, getting a few goals. Both our last 2 games we had multiple goals, which is good for us, I think. And I think in the last game and in the RGV game, we really showed we can play. Obviously, beating RGV 3-0 and then beating Atlanta. I think we really showed we're here to play. And we got a big game coming up Saturday. It should be good for us. Another challenge. If we get the 3 points out of there, that would be a great week, I think, for us. 9 points in 3 games.
It's turned into a real good rivalry with Louisville City. As you look at the video of them, as you prepare to play them Saturday at AutoZone Park, what jumps out at you? I mean, their defense right now is really, really good, and they've got a keeper, German-born keeper who played for Marshall, won a national championship there. Defensively, they appear to be very strong. How do you unlock them on Saturday?
I think we just play the way we always play. We like to move the ball around, keep most of the possession, and that's what we want to do, especially at home. We haven't won a game in front of the home fans yet this year, and that's something we need to add to start the season off. Get our first home win from the fans. They deserve it. They've been supporting us all year, so we definitely need to get a win for them and in front of our home fans. I think nothing really changes too much for our system. We're just gonna play our way. And obviously, Louisville's a good team, but I think we have what it takes to beat them.
Let's talk a little bit about style and identity for this soccer club and what Stephen Glass has meant to constructing that identity and your style of play.
Yeah, our style of play is definitely. I think we're attacking team. We have a great defense too that can always stay solid. Um, we just want to attack, create as many chances as possible, and kill teams. We want to dominate teams, is what I'd say with us. We want to make sure we're on top of them. We're applying most of the pressure to them.
Nighte, thank you so much for the time. Congratulations on the match winner in the U.S. Open Cup, and we wish you much success against Louisville City and all the way the rest of the season.
Thank you so much, Pete. Enjoyed it.
In the team's last USL fixture, 901 FC earned its first 3 points of the season with a resounding 3-0 result against Rio Grande Valley. Bruno Lapa got things started just shy of the half-hour mark. Graham Smith doubled Memphis's lead in the 64th minute, and Nighte Pickering came on in the 85th minute and then slammed the door shut with Memphis's third 2 minutes later. As good as the Southern Harm derby with Birmingham Legion is, the rivalry between Lou City FC and Memphis is definitely heating up. Two clubs split last season's matchups, with the away side taking all the points in those two meetings. Lou City right now in very good form, particularly on the defensive side. In their last 3 USL matches, they haven't conceded a goal. They're off a 0-0 draw at Charleston Battery after consecutive 1-0 results at home against Detroit City and San Antonio FC. In U.S. Open Cup competition, the boys in purple got bounced Wednesday by FC Cincinnati 1-0. Lou City at 4-2-1 on the season, a -3 goal differential, but that's a little misleading. That's a function of a 5-0 drubbing at the hands of Sacramento Republic earlier this season. In 7 matches, they posted 4 clean sheets. That's second in the championship. Sacramento, by the way, has 6 clean sheets. Now, on offense, 5 different players have found the back of the net, with Wilson Harris, the leader, with 2 tallies on the season. Oliver Zemla has been fantastic between the sticks, recording all 4 clean sheets for Louisville City. The 41st overall selection in the last MLS Super Draft by Colorado has made a seamless transition from the college game at Marshall, where he was on the NCAA championship team. First of all, Coach, how did it feel to get that 2-1 win in the Open Cup, not only to be the first 901 FC club to win over an MLS side, but your former MLS side at that?
Yeah, it was brilliant. Great night for the club. I think first and foremost, that's what it's about. To me, it's about the club and it's about the players. Obviously, there's a personal relationship with Atlanta, which has done a heck of a lot for my career, and I'm grateful for it. But we knew we had an opportunity going there. We also knew we had an opportunity to take a heavy beating if they turned up and really, really played well with our top group. But I think we were able to still play against what is a very good group. And it's not, I don't think it was through anything that they didn't do. I think it's how well our boys performed. So I was delighted with what the guys gave us, and that they actually got the reward, because we fully deserved to win as well.
The results have started to come now, unbeaten in the last 5 matches. And I know that the season was off to not the start that you would have wanted. And I talked to Nighte Pickering, and he said, well, we gave up some soft goals maybe early in the season. What has helped turn things around now as you continue to build this club? Yeah,
I think the belief in the players and what we're doing, what they've been doing since the start of February when we got together. Because I think sometimes you can almost put too much weight on results and people start panicking and thinking we're not doing the right thing here. Because I think the perception changes as well. Because I think the first couple of games, we were terrible for 15 minutes against Loudoun. But for the next 75, we were brilliant. but we didn't win because of the first 15. Against Pittsburgh, weren't as good as we should have been. Not horrendous, but not as good as we should have been. And even the home game against Vegas, we're not giving up loads of chances. There's a freak goal that you'll probably see once in your life, and we were unfortunate it happened. It happened against us. And then the lad scores one from 35 yards, which doesn't happen very often against a goalkeeper like Bill. So we've not been on the ropes where teams have got us and they're hammering us. There's been a couple of freak goals, a couple of exceptional goals from opponents. And we've made a lot of chances, at the other end. So we felt like we're on the right track. And you can keep telling the players, but the players show you they believe it with performances like RGV away, like Atlanta away, and hopefully against Louisville here on Saturday night. So let's see how that goes.
And confidence is one of the best things of all. And now you've gotten the results. You referenced Bill Hamid. And what does it mean to this club, easily the biggest signing in club history, to have him, someone of that stature, be in the sticks for you? How has he been a leader for your younger players? Yeah,
it's potentially one of the biggest signings in USL history, I think, as well, to be perfectly honest, with that stature of player coming in. I think he, on the pitch, he gives he's a physical presence. He's got a number of games behind him, and the players know that. He's played US national team. So there's a standing in the game that comes when you've done that sort of thing. And I think that gives boys an extra belief. And that's not to take away from how good a young goalkeeper Drew Romig is as well, because every time we talk about Bill, you're almost down in Drew a little bit. And I think it's important to note how well Drew was doing for us too. So that's important. And he'll also teach Drew a few things that he's maybe never seen before in training. So it's quite a rounded development that Bill helps bring to the young players and the presence on the pitch for the club.
One of the real stories last year for 901 FC was Aaron Malloy coming up from League Two and just being absolutely sensational, runner-up for MVP and certainly one of the best newcomers, if not the best newcomer in the championship last season. How has Aaron continued to progress into this season?
I think he's feeling more of a leader this year. He's obviously wearing an armband in Leston's absence. So I think giving him that more consistently, obviously when Leston's not there, he's taking it on a little bit. He's leading by example. Performance level has been exceptional. And he's always out there. Doesn't miss much training, never missed a minute in the games hardly. And it's I think when you give players ownership and leadership, they either grow or they don't. And I think Aaron's continuing to grow. And I think he can see what we're doing for him as well here at the club, which is exciting.
And we've also had a conversation in the show with Nighte Pickering, young player, tremendous potential. You've used him in matches predominantly off the bench as a substitute. What do you see in this young man that potentially has him in an area where he could be a real top star in the championship and maybe even more?
Well, I think the last two performances show you everything that you need to know. His first touch in RGV comes on, sticks it in the net. It comes on against Atlanta United, MLS club, and people talk about them rotating. At the time that Nighte was on the pitch, they're playing one of the best centre-backs. So he actually came on the pitch to deal with Nighte, I think. So Nighte's playing against a top international centre-back and still producing. His finish was top level. And I think it's important with a young player that we look after him properly as well. And you don't just throw him in and give him a volume of minutes and it actually kills him. I think we're managing him correctly at the moment, dripping him in at the right time. There'll be times when he starts games and he'll be ready for it when he does. And that's the aim. And he knows what we're trying to do for him as well. And I think that's always important when you're looking after a young player, which as a staff, we've got a track record of doing that as well.
Philip Goodrum last year, runner-up for the Golden Boot. This year, the goals haven't been there yet for him because he is obviously going to be very aggressively marked by every club that you see. Is there anything that either as in a system or individually that you need to do to get Philip back to that 20-goal scoring potential? Again, given the fact that he's going to be aggressively marked and teams are going to try to take him out of your offense.
Yeah, I think the first thing is it's very difficult to score 20 in a season. So to do it year on year becomes, I was going to say doubly difficult. It's probably more than double. So he's got that to put up with anyway. But the thing with Philip, the work that he does for the team and the hold-up play that he gives the team is invaluable. If he doesn't score many goals, he's still a huge, huge, valuable member of the team. And I think that's probably the biggest thing at the moment in terms of making Philip better, is that realisation that it's not all about just scoring goals. If he's making his teammates score 2 or 3 a game and it's because of him, then he's certainly contributing to victories. And I think Phil's comfortable with that. I think he can relax a little bit more when he does get in opportunities, but that's through he's anxious for that first goal, which he got off his back the other night with huge amount of bottle and nerve to go and score in the 95th minute, a penalty kick against the goalkeeper that was probably having the game of his life. So it was a good penalty Phil took under big pressure at the end of that amount of effort as well. So we don't underestimate how difficult that was as well.
Defensively, you didn't have Reese Buckmaster early in the season due to injury. He's been back now. What impact does he have for your defense on the back line?
Yeah, both sides, so defensively and attacking. Reese's use of the ball is probably undervalued at times, but I think he knows when to go forward. He can deliver crosses into the box, plays great balls into the striker. But defensively, fantastic. Positioning, very good. Seems to have a very good relationship with Graham as well, who Big Graham has been outstanding. We're defending corner kicks, he's there. We're attacking corner kicks, he's there. Run a play, can use the ball fantastically well. So I think Buckmaster's probably benefited a little bit from the stability that Graham gives. And probably Graham's benefited from having a top right back who's obviously played MLS as well, Reese, and he's a high level player, Buckmaster. So when he's not in your team for a couple of games, people don't advertise that when you're not winning games early on, but you're missing Buckmaster, you're missing Leston. But we don't go shouting it either. Just when they get back in the team and we start producing, we've not been far away.
And you'll be looking to produce against Louisville City. This has grown into quite a rivalry. Last year, the visiting club took all 3 points in both of those matches. They have been fantastic defensively. They've got a young keeper from Germany who played his collegiate soccer at Marshall. He's been very good. What's going to be the key to unlocking Louisville City and getting the 3 points at home?
I think a consistency in what we do, how much we try to make other teams defend. I think we've got players right across the pitch that can make other teams defend. And I think you've seen from us that we don't give up too many chances. So anytime we give it away, we're very active and try to win it back. We're quite aggressive as a group. And I think if we just continue doing what we're doing, that's going to be the focus every week. And that's not a disrespect to Louisville, who are probably going to be one of the contenders to take the whole thing this year again. But we believe we've got a group that can go and compete with them on Saturday night. And I think you'll see that belief in the boys.
Coach, thank you so much for the time. Congratulations on the U.S. Open Cup win. That is absolutely fantastic for the club, and I know that there's going to be much more success down the line.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's a wrap for this episode of the official Memphis 9-0 NFC podcast. Our thanks to producer Mark King and our guests, Nighte, Pickering, and Stephen Glass. We'll have the hometown call of Memphis 9-0 NFC and Lou City Saturday night at 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus and Bounce TV in Memphis. Hope you join me and JJ Greer for what should be an awesome match. It's always good when these two sides get together. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the pitch.